The Egyptians have opened the Rafah crossing on their border with Gaza at last, but only pre-approved people who were checked off a list one by one were allowed to pass into Egypt. There were 34 Australians on that list, but not all of the approved Australians had been able to get to the border post or had decided not to try. 23 did get through though. 51 trucks carrying aid went the other way. But here's what I don't understand. Why won't the Arab world, with all of its oil wealth, unite to fund and support Egypt in building a refugee camp on the Gaza border to help innocents who want to flee? Well, that answer is they don't trust any Palestinian that might enter Egypt is not from Hamas. The Arab world simply prefers this to always be Israel's problem. And they can use the persecution of the Palestinians to make enemies out of the Jews whenever they need to divert attention away from troubles at home, like the mullahs of Iran are doing now. They're unpopular with the people of Iran right now, the mullahs who lead the place. The people want more liberty, and they're sick of the authoritarian regime that they live under. Saudi Arabia was about to sign its peace deal with Israel and join the Abraham Accords. Iran and Saudi Arabia are in constant battle for supremacy in the Middle East. Iran would become increasingly isolated if that deal between Saudi Arabia and Israel went ahead. So they want a conflict that makes Israel into the bad guys. It's hard to keep across all this stuff, I know, but there is one truth that you can be certain of. All the suffering we're seeing, the humanitarian suffering of children, is not the work of Israel. It's all on Hamas, on both sides of the border. It rests squarely with Hamas and the other Islamist radical organizations in the region, and with the ideology of jihad itself, an ideology that loves death, as they say, as we love life, an ideology that we cannot tolerate any longer if we want to survive in a world of biological and nuclear weapons, artificial intelligence, and rapidly advancing technologies. The left-wing media are freaking out this week that classical liberals and conservatives are daring to hold a global conference in London. The first ever ARC conference, created by Dr. Jordan Peterson and hailed by some as a new annual think tank meeting that might balance out the globalism and socialism underpinning the annual